Okay, fishtail braiding. So what we're going to do now, again, with any braiding, the sectioning is really important because the thicker the sections are, the thicker your braid's going to be. Smaller sections, smaller braid's going to be. And this is what I mean. So with your fishtail braid, what you're going to do is you're going to get just the top section. You're working with this top section here. Now, if I'm going too fast, guys, on Facebook and Instagram, just let me know and I'll slow it down a little bit. I just get really excited and I talk super fast. Now, with this top bit, what you're going to do is you're going to shape out a triangle. And this is why the teasing comb is the best to section your triangle. Now, when I say triangle, this is what I am referring to. Is this. So you can see how it's formed a triangle area right here, okay? Now, another thing is, and we spoke about this last week, is that the hair needs to be smooth. And if your client comes with frizzy hair, you're going to need to blow dry it because your braiding, it just needs to be nice and smooth with any braiding. Okay, now make sure as well, when you're combing through the hair, do it thoroughly because you don't want any knots. Because the thing is, if you've been in this situation, I have been millions of times where I haven't combed the hair, it's knotty and I can't grab the hair properly. So let's start off with our fishtail braid. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just divide the hair into two. So you've got two areas here, right? Now this fishtail braid is probably going to be thicker than normal, but that's okay. And what we're going to do first of all is we're just going to cross one over the other, right? That's all we're doing. So now we've got the two crossed from one to the other. What we're going to do is we're going to hold one with our thumb and our first finger and the other one just in the middle there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab this section here. Now just remembering, guys, don't go in grabbing like diagonal sections. It's got to be the same kind of sectioning as per this strand, right? So you're going to take this section and you're literally just going to move it over to there. So you've just added the hair over to the other side, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your left side, the section on the left-hand side. Now make sure that when you're taking it, everything's kind of even and there's no lumps. So now what you've got is you've got one, so you've got this one here, and then you've got the one that you've just added onto there, in between those two. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bring this across and you're just going to add it to the other side. So it's literally just adding and just crossing, right? So how are we going? Do we have any questions so far? I hope everyone's following. So now what I've got is I've just got the two sections. I'm not adding an extra section or a strand in there. I've just still got my two sections. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work from the right-hand side and then I'm just going to bring that over to the left, right? So now you can start seeing the crisscross forming. Now, again, making sure that it's all tight, because the thing is, if it's not tight, you're going to get the lumps and whatnot. Now, if you're doing this on a client, make sure you do kind of mention to the client, look, I need to go, I need to have a bit of firmness. Are you okay for me to have a bit of firmness there? And a lot of the time they're fine. There's some clients that are very precious, but you've just got to let them know that you've got to be firm. If you're not firm, they're going to have lumps. Now, the right side, so I'm picking up another strand on the right side here, and I'm just bringing that over to my left strand. Now, guys, you're not going to get this first go. It does take practice, but what I would say is just grab your mannequin head out and just keep practicing. This is the hardest topic that a lot of the students struggle with. You either get it or you don't, and you just keep practicing. Okay, so taking my left strand and moving it over to my right. So now I've got my base to play with. So that's the base there. Any questions, Rob? Are we all good?
All good.
Excellent.
All good.
All right. Now, this is where it gets really tricky, because this is where a lot of people start to lose it. So now you can see the kind of formation there, right? Now you've got the 2 strands here. This is where you're just going to be working with these 2 strands. So starting off with your left strand, you're just going to take a little bit of hair, like I've got here. I've got a bit of hair here, and I'm going to move it to the right side. Okay, so I'm just going to add that to the right strand. I'm going to do the same thing with the right strand. I'm going to take a bit of hair from the right section, and I'm going to move it over to the left. So pretty much all you're doing is just crisscrossing. So the left to the right, and then the right to the left, and then the left to the right, and then the right over to the left. I'm really kind of keen to know if anybody on the stream who are pro artists that, you know, have done braiding in the past, what has been your struggle? Like, what have you guys struggled with? Because I'm really keen to kind of understand what you guys struggle with out there, because a lot of us struggle with different kind of areas when it comes to braiding, whether it's making it super clean or not being able to have it really tight. Please let me know. So now we're seeing the fishtail form. Now it doesn't really matter if it's tight like this, because what we're going to do when we're done is we're going to loosen it up. So again, on the left-hand side, you're just twisting it over to the right and adding it to the right strand. Taking the right, moving it over to the left. Taking a bit on the left strand, moving it over to the right. And then just keep going right down. Now, when you've practiced this a lot, you'll be able to start incorporating it into your up styles. Now, whoever's out there that's in the bridal industry, and I know there's a few people out there that are doing bridal, you get a lot of requests for braiding. Now, for me, I specialize in boho bridal. So boho bridal is just short for bohemian bridal. So a lot of the brides that I do get, you know, have flowers incorporated or have the braids or the messy buns. And that's kind of my style there. And you also notice that if you keep doing braiding like a lot, your hand starts to hurt. So anytime that I teach these classes, I always kind of walk away with my hand hurting a lot. Yeah, so I kind of completely forgot what I was saying then. So yeah, a lot of my brides do request the braiding aspect of it. And again, it's all about just being confident and just practice. Like if you know your bride is going to want, you know, a fishtail braid, for example, just practice it and practice it and practice it. That's the only way that you're going to get good at it. And that's the only way I got good at it. And if you do want to kind of learn a little bit more about, you know, upstyling and how to incorporate braids into upstyling, we do have available our online, will soon to be available, our online bridal hair course. And we're also doing one-on-one classes and also one-day masterclasses on hair. So if you're wanting to learn more about that, please head over to our website in the education tab, and you can express your interest there. And yeah, we can tailor the class to the group or to you specifically if you're just doing the one-on-one. So now I've gotten to the end, and I'm just going to grab my elastic band. So once you guys have gotten to the end there, just going to raise her up. Just going to pop an elastic band on the bottom. Yeah? Can we see that? We can't see that? No? Can we see that?
You can see the braid, but you can't see what you're doing on the end.
Okay.
So put it next to her head and nose, her cheek. What are you doing?
Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to just loosen the entire fish braid. Now don't be afraid to do this because you're not going to ruin it. You've got the elastic, the band down the bottom there. So can everyone just tell me whether they're able just to see what's going on Facebook and Instagram? I know Facebook have got the close-ups, but yeah, if you can't see, please let us know. Now, another trick is, and I'm not going to touch on this today, is if you're using product and you want to create a lot of volume in your braid, get some volumizing powder and pop some volumizing powder. We looked at volumizing powder last week. Pop some volumizing powder on the braid and then just literally massage it in, and you'll be able to get just a beautiful voluminous braid. And that's awesome for anybody who's got really thin or fine hair. So that's the fishtail braid. Now, can you